If you've heard anything about toxic relationships, you might have wondered, am I in a toxic relationship, let alone whether a friend's or even a family member's. You may even question why or how would even anybody get into a toxic relationship. Welcome to the series on toxic relationships. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the different types of toxic relationships, specifically 7 different types of unhealthy patterns that might show up with your partner. While these are not most definable mental health disorders, it can be really helpful for us to pinpoint and name and identify what it is that we see in our relationship that's unhealthy or unhelpful.
If you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to do that now. Make sure to ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of our new content. I am Ariana Body, and along with my co-founder, Cynthia King, we will be posting videos every single week on Saturdays, all to helping you improve your most meaningful relationships from your partners, your children, parents, in-laws, co-workers, basically all your most important relationships. We hope that this information is helpful for you and you walk away with some really useful skills at the end of each video. I will be providing a link to all of the toxic relationship videos in the video description below. So if you're wondering, why do I keep getting in a toxic relationship? Wait, am I the toxic one? Wait, how do I get out of a toxic relationship? And what are even the signs of a toxic relationship? And what's the difference between toxic and abusive? Better yet, we have a relationship quiz that you can take to learn whether or not you have toxic traits, your partner might have toxic traits, or maybe it's just the combination and the dynamic between the two of you guys that might be toxic. Better yet, it has all the answers so you can find out what is actually a part of a healthy or the signs of a healthy relationship.
I provide links to all of our toxic relationship series videos in the video descriptions below. Check it out if you're wanting to know, wait, am I toxic? Maybe why do I keep getting into toxic relationships? How to fix a toxic relationship? Or maybe what is even a toxic relationship? Especially what is the difference between a toxic relationship and an abusive relationship? Check it out for more. Better yet, we even have a quiz for whether or not you are toxic or your partner is toxic, and it also has the answers about what is a healthy relationship. If you have read or heard anything about a toxic relationship, it's very natural for you to wonder and question, well, am I toxic? Is my relationship toxic? If anything in this video, you can learn more about yourself and your own relationship patterns. Better yet, you can learn more about what is a healthy relationship. We hope that you learn more in this video. Let's start defining what a toxic relationship even is. A toxic relationship is having a strained or unhealthy pattern of communicating and interacting with your partner that leaves one or both people feeling unsafe, insecure, and threatens the stability of the relationship. You tend to notice that you have more negative feelings than positive ones in your relationship. You notice that the way that you're interacting with your partner doesn't promote or unite you guys as a couple. Rather, you feel more torn down and defeated in your relationship. You leave away feeling not good. Very simply, more bad times than good times. And you may even be wondering whether your relationship is even worth it. What are the signs of a toxic relationship? First off, you or your partner, maybe even both, have learned some very unhealthy and unhelpful ways of interacting and communicating with each other. This can come in the form of passive-aggressive communication, passive communication, or just flat-out aggressive communication. It's important to know that anything that's toxic kind of, butts up against, or it's right up against what is maybe what we call abusive relationships. First and foremost, it's just important to know that toxic relationships are not healthy. They do not promote growth in your relationship. They tear down a relationship and make you and or the other person feel bad. The first one is the domineering partner. So it's just like the name says. It's the other person or one person in the relationship has a very dominant presence. They just take up so much space, emotional and physical space in the relationship. They may take over a conversation or insert themselves. They may have an opinion all the time and not let you get a word in. The other person often feels like their needs, wants, desires, wishes don't matter as much. You might start to feel small. You might actually be more subdued or try to keep information from your partner, not intentionally trying to hurt the relationship, but because one, you feel like your needs aren't going to get met, so what's the point? And then another reason is you don't want to cause drama. There's just so much drama to deal with. The second type is the extremely insecure partner. This type of partner is always looking for reassurance from you in some way or another, whether it's their appearance or how they communicate and talk in a social setting. The list can go on. They're just very, very deep insecurities that drive a lot of their behaviors and interactions with you. And you are often left feeling exhausted, tired of reassuring, and then you leave feeling really frustrated and aggravated. They may constantly be putting themselves down in front of other people or say, hey, does that make sense? Oh, how do I look? What do you think? They're constantly looking for validation and reassurance from you. The perfectionist. This person sets really high expectations for themselves and maybe even you as their partner. You may feel like you're constantly falling short of your partner's expectations, whether these expectations are spoken or unspoken. The perfectionistic partner may even feel resentful because they're always trying to do things perfectly. So they may actually start to resent you as a partner, but you feel like you may not actually live up to their expectations. So why even try? This leaves a very unfair power dynamic in the relationship because one person feels like, hey, they have high expectations and they want a lot and expect a lot from you, but then you don't deliver, or the partner may not deliver because, hey, they don't want to be ridiculed or criticized, and why try? Because they're always going to fail and do it wrong. The narcissistic partner. So this one's a tricky one because this person may or may not be narcissistic, but they can have some narcissistic traits. And usually somebody who has some maybe narcissistic patterns of interacting typically doesn't know that all the focus, or they feel like all the focus needs to be on them. But you as a partner and others might notice this. They often might make you feel like you're a burden for not bothering them, calling or texting or emailing them to let them know that you're thinking about them, that they're on your mind. You as the partner might feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells because you don't know what's going to please them or not please them, which leads you to feeling more guilty. Furthermore, you feel like you always have to go along with what your more narcissistic partner is saying or doing or want their agenda because you don't want to upset them. You or your partner may always have to go along with the narcissistic partner or pattern because you don't want to upset them or cause drama or feel guilty for inconveniencing them. The blaming partner. This is exactly what it sounds like. This person is always blaming the other person, whether they intend it or are aware of it or not, but it's like they cannot take responsibility. They're too insecure they feel too insecure that they cannot take and accept that something might be their fault. Always find a way to somehow blame you in an argument. Really where this stems from is they cannot accept the pressure of something being their fault. So you as the partner might always feel like you are always doing something wrong. You feel really guilty, frustrated because you feel like, hey, they're not taking up their the argument or problem. This person turns everything into a competition. So no matter if it's a race, it's a game, it's a meal, everything turns into a competition. And so there's always a winner and there's a loser. Who could finish something faster? Whose meal is the best? The thing is, it's exhausting because sometimes you just want to enjoy each other and work together as a team and not be on opposing sides. The lying partner. This usually takes some time to pick up and notice in a relationship. This is a person who constantly lies, even about the smallest little things. It doesn't even have to be a big thing. The problem is it is pervasive, it is problematic, and it gets in the way of the relationship. The lying could be anything from money, a job, a house, an interaction that happened at work that day. The lying partner also may not even understand why they feel like a compulsion to constantly lie. They often don't lie to intentionally hurt you. It usually, not always, but it usually comes from a place of deep insecurity that's often left them in their childhood. They often don't lie to hurt you intentionally. It often comes from a deep place of their own insecurities or their insecurities in the relationship. and perhaps even about how others in the world see them. They may feel like they have to lie to make themselves look better and how they present to the world. Now that we have identified some, I realize that this might stir up a lot of things in you or your relationship. Or you actually might walk away saying, hey, I think I'm doing pretty good. If you have identified some patterns within yourself, you may start to question things about who you are in a relationship, or maybe who your partner is and who they are in a relationship. Has this happened before? Is this a relationship history or a pattern? You may question why you are in a toxic relationship or how you could continue to be in toxic relationship patterns. You might even start to question whether you are toxic yourself. You wonder if you can change, your partner could change, or if you should even split ways. While there is no easy quick fix for a lot of these relationship dynamics, we do believe that change can happen within ourselves and in relationship dynamics. However, the important thing to remember is that you cannot change somebody else. You have to only change yourself. Remember, relationships take two people, not one. You have to work together as a team to fix a toxic relationship. Stay tuned for our other videos on how to fix a toxic relationship. Overall, we hope you find this helpful. We have so much to offer you, including articles, other videos, workshops, and quizzes. Check it out down below. Thank you so much for watching this, and we hope to see you next time.